Hey, how's it going, everybody? I think my clock is rolling. I think I'm rolling. I am rolling. Okay. I don't want to be very long, but I just want to talk about a. This is a touchy subject because I think it happens to me quite a bit. And at first, I used to think. First of all, my name is Mark, and I like you. Thank you to the blah blah blah. I can't talk. Thank you for watching the channel. Um, and I really do appreciate people watching the channel. I was talking to a one of my best friends, really good friend of mine, about friendship yesterday, and I was talking about just people in general, and where I think we people throw this word friend around too loosely. Whether it's someone it could be a neighbor, someone that you grew up in your neighborhood, whatever the case may be, people from your high school, your college, your job, and people automatically assume because you communicate or associate with people in those, like for me, I was in the army as well, so people that I was stationed with, and they automatically they want to assume that because you associate with some of these people from, like for me, from the army, or people I grew up with, or that people that I know of or I've talked to from time to time, or even neighbors, all of a sudden we're supposed to be friends. And that can't be farther from the truth. And even when here's what I also noticed, and I'm going to try not to make this very, very, very long. Whether it's even people that go to my church or whatever the case may be. Here's the thing when it comes to friends that I thought was happening. And then as this is term about ghosting, where you're all of a sudden you used to communicate with a certain person, all of a sudden they just disappeared on you, stopped all contact, they don't talk to you no more or whatever. It's called ghosting, right? And I noticed that was happening on quite a few people. And here's what I learned about that. The people that I thought, how people would sit there and say you're friends or whatever. I learned that you have to really pick and choose who you are calling friends. Because there are some people out there specifically to stay in contact with you. And one of the reasons why I learned that is because you're giving them something that they need or want. The minute you stop feeding that person something that they need or want, they don't want to be your friend anymore, because they can't get what it is that they're used to getting out of you, and they'll ghost you, which means they were never a friend. So I learned that I have a few people that I stayed in contact over the years, constantly, that they never ask for anything. We just stay in contact, and they know that if I can do it, I will help them out, and if they know they can do it for me, they'll help them out. Those are friends. But everyone else, and this is even including, can be past relationships. Remember, in a relationship, a lot of times people get into relationships because one is more than just physical or sexual attraction. Sometimes it's because you can be in a relationship with someone because they're giving one partner is giving another partner something that they need. So they don't mind being in a relationship. The minute they feel that they don't get what they need, they leave. That's how relationships break up. Most relationships are a little bit more one-sided than the other. Now, another thing I was going to talk about too is when I used to try to reach out to people to make friends because we may have a common interest, and I noticed that doesn't work either. Prime example: I'm a mechanic. I used to try to reach out to other people that were mechanics, and I would try to help them out. Maybe they could try to help me out, whatever the case. And then I noticed with a lot of people that I was trying to intentionally reach out to become friends with, I was making more of an effort to reach out to them, but they never reach out to me, ever. Every blue moon. Or now and then they might reach out one time because they have a specific question, that's it. So here's what I've learned. Until the day I die, all the people that I recognize that are just not friends, I'm just going to cut them off. I'm not going to make the effort anymore to try to be friends with people because they're really commonly, a lot of these people don't really have an interest in being your friend. Like they will, like for example, if you happen to be somewhere and you run into that person, y'all have a conversation, you might have a conversation with that person. Other than that, once you don't have a conversation with that person, that's the last time you'll see them again, or whatever the case may be. That's it. They don't reach out to you anymore. So here's what I've learned. Don't reach out to those people. If they don't ever make an effort to reach out to you, don't make an effort to reach out to them anymore. Just like they've been ghosting you, so you might as well ghost them. Only really I look at it like this, really deep down and see who you think are really literally going to be there for you and really going to be friends that want to reach out and communicate with you. And it's more than just once a year. But if you got people that, even on your Facebook friends list, and you got people on your friends book that you've never heard of, that you've never talked to in 5 years, 10 years, it's been 15 years and y'all never talked. And sometimes people will befriend you on Facebook because they know of you. And they remembered you from your job, from high school, college. Your job, like me, people that know me from when I was in the Army or whatever the case. And for us, we have a natural tendency because we know people, we'll actually accept their friend request on Facebook. Some people are trying to just build I don't know why this infatuation to build 25,000 people on Facebook that you're not going to speak to. Some people it's an insecurity thing. It's kind of like when you look at people that have to do selfies for self-validation, to get people to comment on their pictures of selfies that they do, because it's like, why do I need to validate to tell you that you look good? And you'll notice that there are people that are on Facebook that do that regularly. But excuse me, I'm not sleeping. I don't know why I'm yawning. But anyhow, I'm about to go down here and start my dinner. But what I am saying is this. You'll find out when you start really scrubbing your Facebook friends list or just your phone contacts friends list, and even family members that you really them distant family members that you just haven't talked to in 25 years. Sometimes it's just time to just cut ties. And when you really scrub your list, you'll find out most of the time you won't have no more than, if you're doing well if you got 15 good friends. If you got 15 good friends, you're doing well. Because most people have probably maybe 2 or 3 on average. That's it. So if you got that many, you're doing well. But you'll find out majority of the people that are trying to claim to be friends, whether they're trying to say they're friends on Facebook, just because you know me, because we work together, don't make us friends. That makes it just associates and acquaintances. Acquaintances and associates. That's why I think Facebook ought to change that from the friends, family. They got to make another category called, associate acquaintances, people that you may have worked with, someone that you went to high school, and we tend to do that as a natural, as us being social creatures. We tend to be that type of person that, oh, I remember that person from high school, so we want to accept them as a friend. They're not a friend. I got to the point where now I had to. I'm going to start scrubbing my Facebook. I got people on there that, because they know me from a particular place, they befriend me, and I accepted their friend request, but we don't talk after that. That means they were never a friend. They just saw my picture, remembered me, and sent me out a friend's request because they remembered me. That's not a good thing. So I'm going to realize my Facebook friends list is going to probably drop down to about 30 people. I really don't believe in having a lot of, I really don't want to have any ex-girlfriends. Like, for example, I got a divorce, so I'm not even friends with my ex-wife. There's no reason to be. She's an ex. We didn't work out. So all I can say is all my exes, I wish them the best of luck, but I'm a type of person. Some people believe in going back and trying to reconcile with their exes. I don't believe in that. We didn't work out for a particular reason. So I'm not going to try to revisit, and then all of a sudden the reason we didn't work out pops up again, and that's why we didn't work out. And that's why a lot of people break up. So people know me, people that know me, and I'll end my video on this. I'm a very specific person. I'm very intuitive. In other words, if I got a serious interest in something, a particular subject, I go all out in trying to find out as much as I can about that particular subject. Whether it's astronomy, politics, government, music, photography, being a musician, knowing music, being a mechanic, learn whatever I can learn. I'm going to go 100% out, and I like to associate myself and conversate with people of the same common interest, because we always have something to talk about. I don't consider someone, to be a friend because, how can I say it? I know I say a lot. It's not like because there's a particular neighbor as an example, and because we see each other and you just want to have a place to hang out for an hour or two and that's it. That's not a friend. Unless, I'm doing things for you, you're doing things for me, we constantly communicate all the time or whatever the case, then that's different. A friendship is a bond. It's like a covenant. It's like almost like a contractual bond between people that's not ever broken. And I'm not ever saying that, even with friends, that you're not going to ever get upset with each other. Friends as human, the one thing as a friend, if a friend makes you mad, you gotta remember one thing I had to learn this about people. We're all human. And sometimes we say stuff that it can be very abrasive or whatever the case may be, but you have to really dig into the character. Because there are people that will get mad you don't want to speak to you no more because you said something that got under their skin, and now they just... If you're willing to stop talking to me, because I can be brutally honest about something. Let's say I feel that I may point something out, and that I'm pointing out, and it can be that whatever the case may be, and I might be sitting there. Let's say you drink, and I point out you drink, but you want to go start driving, and I point that out, man. You shouldn't be drinking and driving, and you want to get mad because I'm pointing that out. And now you don't want to talk to me. That tells me that's not a true friend. you know, friends we're always going to disagree with. You can always disagree and not, but I'm not going to ever get mad at someone where I just don't want to ever talk to them anymore in life because they made me mad. And I'm going to tell you, not to make this as a sexist thing, not to, make this a sexist thing, but I'm going to tell you who's really notorious for doing that is women. If you piss women off, women already have really bad communication skills of communicating exactly what they want. I don't understand that. Men are very specific. If you want something out of a man, or you want a man to know you got a specific, just tell him. And that way he knows for sure. He's up front. Men we don't hate playing guessing games. I don't know what it is with women. And then you hear a lot of women over the years, and this is not a race thing either. You hear a lot of white women or black women, whatever, they always talk about men this and men that, and men don't want us, and men don't want to be committed, and men this and that. It's because your communication skills suck. That's why. Men are very straight to the point. It's like, for example, in the Army, for us in the Army, if a soldier does something and the leadership's going to straight and blatantly tell him what he did. Men, you got men that. Anyhow, let me move on. So, and like I said, I won't try to make the sex thing because there are men that can act petty and get mad and act like But overall, when it comes down to this friendship thing, if I'm being brutally honest, like I made a video about people that don't communicate. In other words, if I send out an email response or a text, I know with modern technology, especially with text phone calls and emails and all that, there's never going to be a point in time where you're not going to be where you're going to not see your email, unless you gave me an email that I just don't use, or vice versa. But other than that, text or something like that. But if I text you, email you, whatever, and I know you saw it, and you blatantly ignore me, that's not a friend. Because you're mad because I made you, because you think I got under your skin. I'm a type of person that if I get under your skin, tell me. So if I did something wrong, or it was offensive, or I may hurt your feelings, tell me so I can, I probably didn't know I did that. And I can apologize, and that way I know what boundaries to cross and what boundaries not to cross. But this all boils down to, because I'm brutally honest, but I'm also going to sit there and act like I would not act like I didn't make some bad choices. Everyone has made bad choices, everyone. So in my video like this, be careful who you're calling friends. Because not everyone is a friend, and not everyone's trying to be your friend. And not everyone is worthy enough to be your friend, because you might not have nothing in common with that person that you think is trying to be a friend. And the same thing, I just realized that I'll give you one more example in the video. Like, there's another person in the same city that has a studio. And the thing is, I noticed that I was always trying to reach out to that person, and always trying to go, but they would act, there's always that friendly, when you go to their studio, they all welcome, come on in, yeah, come on in, we're good. But they never ever make an effort to want to come and return the same gesture. They come and try to interact, and they're stuck in their own world. And they think their world, the way they stuck in their world, is law. They never listen, and they never are open to other ways to do. They're stuck in one bubble. And I tried to reach out and tried it for years and years, because we're musicians, we play together, whatever. And I realized that some people, they're just not friends, and they don't really. Technically, they'll try to act like they're your friend while they're in front of you, but they really don't want to be your friend. I've learned that the people that try to act like they're your friend in front of you, but they really don't want to be your friend because they really I don't want to talk to that person. I really don't want to reach out to that person. They were never friends. So I learned And that goes not just musically or studio wise, but that just goes with anything in life, with people. You know, if you're always the one reaching out and trying to put an effort to be friends with people, and you realize you turn and you sit back and this person never calls me. This person never makes it. I'm always the one making an effort. I've learned that here's what I'm doing from now on. This is 2021. From now on, I'm only going to reach out to the people that I talk to and they call me and they reach out to me. It's an equal two-way street. If it's only a one-way street, I'm cutting all the one-way streets off. Those are dead-end streets. Those streets are done. I'm only staying on the main highways now. You know what I mean by main highways. Those little one-way cul-de-sac, those little inroads that have dead ends. Those are dead-end friends. People live in those dead ends. I'm not visiting those people no more. Like a highway that has two ways. You can go east to west, to north. It goes both directions. That's what I mean by friendship. It goes both directions. I'm only going to keep that communication and keep that close bond with those people only. And I'm just, it's going to be like that. And I'm going to realize after that, watch the 400 or 500 people that are trying to sit there and say that we're friends. It's going to narrow down to about 20 people. Now, in the video, you should really examine that with anyone that you associate in your life. Now, when it comes to YouTube and me doing my videos and all that, I love all my YouTube subscribers. I love y'all dearly because y'all support the channel. I'm always going to keep that open communication with YouTube as long as I'm doing it. And if I can help you as much as I can, what I know, I will. But gotta remember one thing, I'm very blunt. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just very blunt. Because I'm very analytical. I'm very, so other than that, thanks for watching and I really appreciate that. But this is a video about examining who your friends are. Other than that, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great one.